Been a little while. Been a little while since I've been on Zoom. So I do have it currently recording. Feel free to unmute your mic at any time and ask a question. I'll also check the chat if you prefer to do it that way. Okay, so unfortunately, I had some procedures done to my feet and I cannot walk. So I'm bedridden for a couple of days. Mm.
Really?
So, yes. I'm going to go down the overview questions. I'm going to read off, but if you think it would be better for me to post certain things in the chat, I will do so. Just, let me know, hey, can you put that in the chat as we get started? Um, I do not have a lot of time because I'm on the free. However, if we need to continue beyond the 40 minutes, I will restart this meeting. All right, let me see. So I'm not sure if I have the correct questions for the overview, but you know what, y'all chime in if I say the wrong something. So the first one, being able to identify the smallest functioning unit of an organism, that would be a cell. I don't know if you all are having access to your guide at the moment, but the first one should be cell. If I say the wrong one, baby, chime in because I don't think I have the correct overview. The second one, know what negative and positive feedbacks, or should say are, and what their main functions are. So for the negative feedback, making sure you remember that this is the one that occurs the most frequently in our body systems, and it works to suppress the stimulus. It wants it to stop. I want to say the example we used in class was the air conditioning unit. You have a
Yeah,
set.
because
Go ahead, boo. Hello. You didn't have to turn your volume off. But that's okay. Like a unit, you set a temperature, it will cause the air conditioner to come on until the temperature is reached, and then itself turns it off. The positive feedback is completely opposite in that it intensifies. The examples that were given, I know one is childbirth, and I'm not positive of the other, but in that particular positive feedback, you would continue to have your contractions until the baby has been removed from the body, and then slowly. Thank you, love. Melanie said blood clot. Thank you, sugar. So that's another one. Um, for number three that I have, know the main parts of a homeostatic regulation system. Oh, let's see. I don't want to tell you wrong. I want to say it's the stimulus, the control center, and then the response or something like that. I'm winging it. uh, Matter of fact, let me see if I can access your questions. Nah, I'm gonna just keep it simple, honey, because I haven't used this in a while. Again, if I don't say exactly what you may have listed, please feel free to type it in the chat. We're going to try to help everybody be great. So the three main parts of the homeostatic regulation system, those three components is what it's asking about. For four, I have mitosis is a division of the cell, which is the definition of the term. Know the five phases of mitosis. The hint that I provided was I, P, MAT, because each letter represents a phase of mitosis. So interphase is first. Interphase is actually longer than mitosis is. For the most part, in mitosis, it's just a reproduction of our general cells. And let me see what else with that one. Um, the next question, still pertaining to the mitosis phases. Does the chromosome arrive at opposite poles, condense, and are? Can you share your screen so we can follow? I will try. I'm reading an answer sheet I had in my hands, but it's not the correct one. Let me see if I can find it on my computer. And then yes, love, I will present it on the screen. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pause the recording. At your chat, he said, "Did you remember to start the recording?" Bless your heart. Thank you, boo. I'll repeat what I said. Let me go back to the question. Okay, number 6, which types of transports of molecules? One requires ATP and the others do not. Diffusion is a passive transport, does not require energy, and it moves molecules from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Osmosis is also classified as a passive transport, but it specifically is the movement of water from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Another difference in osmosis is it's going to be based on the amount of solute in that particular liquid. If the solute is higher within that cell, water will move out of the cell. Hey, boo-boos, one of y'all got your volume on and stuff in the background. Would you please mute? Thank you kindly. Going back to osmosis. So remember that the water follows the solute. Wherever there is a higher amount of concentration of the solute, the water will go in that direction. That's probably the quickest way to put that. And I did just define diffusion. The average body temperature in Celsius is 37.5. That is 37.5. Now, look it, I'm going by what I have, and I know it's not accurate. So if you get questions that I don't address, please post them for me and tell me which chapter. Be familiar with direction and body surface terms. Directional terms are those that lead you to a specific location on the body. The body will be in an anatomical position. So lateral would be one of the directional terms. That means that it is away from the midline, going away from the middle of the body. Medial would be the opposite of that, stating that the object or the part is closer to the middle. And then there are several I would encourage you to review. Body surface terms would be those that identify the body part. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So like our common terms would be the thumb, the forearm, the head, but you want to make sure that you know the surface anatomy terms that are on the anatomical man. They show him both in the forward and the rear position, and then you'll see those names. I will post an image that has all of those labelings. All right. So the next question is, know the range of the pH scale and which numbers are acidic and which ones are basic. So the pH scale goes from 0 to 14. 7 is in the middle. Water would be a great example of 7 because it's neutral. It's not too acidic, it's not too basic. 0 through 6 would be acidic. What is it? 8 to 14 would be basic. So the higher the number, the more basic that solution is. Let's see. The next question I have says, be able to list the chemical levels of organization from the smallest to the most complex, and then the most complex to the smallest. I want to say when we did our diagram in the notes, we started at atoms and molecules. Your question will not start there. It'll go from cells up to the actual organism, or the organism down to cells, as long as you know the steps. So a cell, what is it? Tissues, organs, organ system, and then the organism, and along that track. Be able to identify the number of electrons present on the outermost shell. The only thing I can tell you about that one is that you need to know how to use your Bohr's model. While you're taking the test, feel free to draw out those circles and then track how many electrons should appear on each cell. The one that is the outermost will be your valence shell or the outermost shell. There's not a lot of questions like that, but I believe you'll have at least two. You're also going to have um, dang, the DNA and the RNA strands, where you're going to have to pick the complementary strand. Okay. And I just did the next one. Know what is meant by the term outermost or valence shell. It's the last circle in the Bohr's model. Know how blood will react if placed in a hypertonic, isotonic, and hypotonic solution. We kind of touched on that a little bit when I talked about diffusion. So if it is placed in a hypertonic solution, the cell will start to shrink because there's more solute outside of the cell. Am I saying that right? Well, just know it is going to shrink. I want to say because the water inside of the cell is not level, there's a greater amount of solute. So the water will come out of the cell into that other solution, causing it to shrink. Isotonic, the solute amount is equal in both locations, so there's no change in the cell. And in the hypotonic solution, there's more solute within the cell than it is on the outside. So water will move into the cell. A term I may or may not have mentioned was lysis. See if I can type that in the chat for you all. That is cell death. It's lyse. Cell death, when the cell has received the largest amount of solution, liquid water that it can hold, it can burst. So to burst is lyse. Yeah, I know I'm moving quickly, trying to be, aware of our time, but we're actually doing really good. Um, my note is not separated by the chapters. Did I forget anything in chapter 1? Anyone? Okay, I'm gonna take that as y'all good. Um, the next question I have, know the characteristics of a suspension, colloid, and a solution. Making sure you understand which one is clear and transparent, the one that has the large particles, and the one that actually will settle out at the bottom. And they're actually in the order of these descriptions. So suspension would have the clear, transparent. Colloids would have the larger particles. No, I said that backwards. The suspension is the one that settles out. Colloid is the one that has the particles that can deflect light. And then the solution is clear and transparent. All right. Tissue types, the 4 tissue types: epithelial, nervous, muscle, and connective. One of our lecture note questions and the question that I have next is quite similar. Know which type of tissue will arise from all 3 embryonic germ layers. That tissue type is epithelial. It can be derived from any of the stem cell layers. All right. 19 for me. What structure prevents cardiac muscles from separating? I'm going to put that in the chat as well. It's intercalated. Intercalated. So those are kind of like a desmosome or gap junction. Its purpose is to hold those striations together. So as the heart is pumping the blood, it just supports that enlargement, and then go back to the original size for that one. And knowing the characteristics of epithelial cells, where they are found in the body, how many layers, and etc. Um, there will be a few questions that specifically ask you about a cell type. What I would do is look and find out what their primary functions are and whether or not they are single layer or multi-layered. So if it starts with the term simple, it's going to be a single layer. Stratified means two or more. And then you have your cuboidal, crap, that one just popped up immediately. Squamous, and I can't think of what the long one is, whatever that word is. All right, so that is every question that was listed on my sheet. This is my old one. Okay, when did the last chapter in class? Can you tell us what number of questions to pay more attention to for the test? I know. So when I posted in the announcements about thank you, Boo, columnar. When I posted about that, a lot of that 4B. Bless you. Yes, honey. Let me check. Thank you for sharing, Ashley. There's a lot that really comes from that one, but because I didn't have, well, Ashley didn't hook me up. I didn't have initial access to the overview. I wasn't really sure, but there's a lot of information within that one. So it just opened for me. Let me see if I can share my screen. Y'all rock. Hold on. Okay. No, baby, you didn't interrupt. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. So now I'm trying to see if I can share my screen. I got to use this thing more often so I know what I'm doing. All right, screens. Awesome. Desktop. Share. Okay. So y'all see a whole bunch of stuff going on. Let me minimize you. Okay. Y'all, for real, y'all are amazing. Great job, boo. Okay. So now that I can actually see it, there are more things than what I talked about. We did that one, smallest organization. And then know the body cavities that are in the thoracic region. So you have the cavity that holds the lungs. There's a separate cavity that holds, like, I think pericardial holds the heart. So that's what it's referring to when it says in the thoracic region. Going to number 2, we did talk about these. Which is clear element. Okay, this bullet here, what element is always found in organic molecules? You should have listed carbon for that particular bullet. All right, we did do the pH scale. We did not talk about the RNAs. So throughout the process of transcription, which occurs first, and then translation, each one of these type of RNAs has a specific role. So the mRNA is created in the nucleus, and then it leaves and goes out into the cytoplasm. That mRNA will attach to the ribosome and begin the process of the tRNAs, um, because, it starts to produce the proteins, then the tRNA will take those and start to create the amino acids. The amino acids are um, broken down in the ribosomal organelle, but that's pretty much the order in it. I have a really cute video that talks about that. I'll post that this evening as well when I post the recording. All right, loves. So we're going to number 3. We did talk about these items. The only thing I did not include was knowing the following organelles. So the ones that are listed are the ones you need to go to chapter 3 and make sure that you're aware of their definition, which is basically what they do. All right. For 4, what is the most common type of cartilage? That should be hyaline. Uh-oh. So look it say I got 10 minutes, boo. I think we're gonna make it. We did talk about the 4 tissue types. This bullet, which was epithelial tissues, the intercalated disc. All right, so on this bullet, I kind of give you a little bit more detail with the squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. For them, it's the shapes. I want to say the columnar are the ones where you'll find goblet cells, but I don't believe that's a part of anything you'll be asked on the question. But where it says found in the body, how many layers, all of that information is in your chapter 4A notes, where you all had to provide the location, describe it, and locations. And then what are the steps to the tissue repair, specifically fibrous tissue? Toward the end of 4B, we talked about tissue repair. Um, and then I gave you the three steps that occur in that. All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Okay, so and I see I got something in the chat. And no, I am not going to bed. Girl, I've been in this bed since yesterday. And I was gonna try to come, but it hurt. I couldn't wear shoes. I was like, it'll be okay. So I'm gonna allow each of you, if you have a clarifying question, or if you have anything you would like to ask, please take these few minutes that we have to do so. You can type it in the chat or you can unmute. It says I have 8 minutes remaining. I think we did good considering. Y'all talk more than this in the classroom, honey. Okay. If all hearts and minds are clear, and yes, boo, Melanie, there will be a lab session for Thursday, but I don't have a problem if Tuesday joins also. Um, they're missing their quiz, so it's going to be given next week. And so because of that, I wanted to make sure they were aware of the resources that I gave to the Tuesday group. All right, is it multiple choice? How many questions? So for Tanya, I'm assuming you're asking about the lab quiz. It is 25 questions. You're timed. No, it's not multiple choice. Oh, you're not. You're talking about the test? 50 questions. Yes, all multiple choice. You got multiple choices. So it's
Got
not
it.
really a word bank. Okay. Ashley Love, you can speak. Melanie, you can too. Okay.
Hey, this is
Hello.
hi, Miss. How you feeling? Hope you get better real soon.
Thank
I just
you.
want to tell the class, never second guess yourself.
Amen.
If you put an answer, leave it. Do not
Leave
second
it.
guess yourself. I'm telling y'all, being in lab first and lecture second, I
Hmm.
didn't second guess myself twice on two tests, and I got good grades, but never second guess yourself because that'll make you even get a bigger, better grade. So when we
Correct.
go into this test on next Tuesday, if you, whatever multiple choice, whatever it is, if you pick that first answer, leave that answer because 9 times out of 10, it's the right answer.
I agree wholeheartedly, and thank you for that good advice.
Y'all have a
Um,
good night.
you too, dear. I try to emphasize that as well, because whatever came to your mind first, there's something that triggered that choice, something you know, something you remember. Like she said, when you start second guessing yourself, you went from right to wrong. Leave them answers alone. Speaking from my own experience, honey, I spent $1,000 on a test because I just kept going back changing stuff. When I finally just left it alone, I passed with flying colors. All right. And what we got? We got 5 minutes. Any other enlightening comments, questions? I truly appreciate you all. I hate when I can't be there, but I don't need no infection either, honey. So I'm gonna sit in this bed like she told me. Okay. We're like at the 5 minutes.
So
So,
wait,
oh, go ahead, boo.
are we gonna have another teacher to give us our test on Tuesday?
Oh no, ma'am. I will be there,
Oh,
honey, even
okay.
if I'm in a rolling
Okay.
chair.
Okay. All right.
I will be
Look, I
there.
got nervous.
No, don't
Okay.
worry, love. But you will need a Scantron.
I
I'm
got
trying to
those.
see if I can get access to some because it's hard to get them. Like y'all not close to the bookstore, and sometimes Amazon is slow. So I will do
Yeah.
my best to have some extras. Now I've had students be like, "Hey, I got you one for $1, baby. Look, that don't have nothing to do with me. You got a need, they got a supply." But for the most part, in my previous semesters, the majority of the students share a Scantron and don't ask for any compensation.
Right. I got a couple.
Okay. Thank you, love. I will try to,
You're
I know
welcome.
I got some somewhere in that building. I'm gonna go dig them out so I can share them as well.
All right, we'll
Um,
get better.
thank you. Did y'all see the review game that I posted? Do I need to post it in here? Well, not here, but in GroupMe. It's it has really good questions. They're not, I won't say that they are the questions that you need to know for your test, but they are very good practice questions. I think it has 15. I won't post it in our chat here, but I will go back and post it in the GroupMe, and I'll repost where I put it in Blackboard.
I think I'm
Okay.
doing it.
It has been a joy meeting with a few of you, like half the class. But look it, they'll see our video and maybe next time they'll join us. I won't say that I won't do this again. Um, because what is it? We have a week off before your comprehensive final. And so I try not to make you meet, but I can offer an online meeting just to go over some things. And then Chattahoochee actually provides a really great review opportunity. I want to say it's at the North Metro campus, but they have food, snacks, they have interactive things for you guys to participate in. That's hosted by the full-time staff. And the students that I've had that have attended said it was wonderful. So as soon as I get the dates and location, I will definitely share with you. Um, and thank you, love. I'm gonna get some rest. Baby, look it. That pain pill, honey, she done had me knocked out all day, which is why I was a little late getting on. Um, but you're going to get another announcement from me this evening. At Sugar's request, I will try to identify numbers for 4B. Did we do it for 4A? Like,
You gave us a little.
okay, so I'll look at both of those for chapter 4 and get those posted for you all when I send this recording.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome. I know y'all want to study,
Thank
but honey, make
you.
sure you got a break in there. Need a
Yes.
moment to relax. Stressing out and stuff
Ma'am.
is gonna make you forget.
It is.
All right. It's been a pleasure. Just
Great.
because I'm not available online, you're welcome, love. Feel free to send me a GroupMe message. GroupMe actually is faster than the email, but I try to check both. So if something comes up after we finish our meeting, still reach out to me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end our session. We got a minute left, and good job. Whoop, 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 whoop. We did it in 40 minutes. All right, guys, have a great evening, and I'll see you next week.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Let's see. Yeah, y'all rock. How do I end?